everyone, welcome to True Crime and Tarot. I am Natalie and today's case is on Dana Rishpy. I have literally attempted this video, no word of a lie, more than 5 times. There have been a lot of interruptions, there have been a lot of names and places that I have said completely wrong. I'm just really hoping and praying this video will go up and be fine. Okay, so I have done a lot of research on Dana Rishpy case for about a week as well. A week, because there's a lot of cases that I've been doing. There's a lot of facts. There's a lot of theories that has gone into the case. So I've only done the research on the actual facts to this case. I've also done some tarot card reading on this case as well. There is a lot of questions that I have asked, and there is some very interesting things that have come up in the tarot about the whereabouts of Dana and what actually happened to her, and so on and so forth. If there is anything that I have left out in the research, please comment in the comment box below. I'd really appreciate it. Now let's get back to the case. So Dana Rishpy was born on May the 26th, 1982. She was born in Israel. She has long brown wavy hair, blue eyes, 5'7", 120 pounds. Her nationality is Israeli. So Dana Rishpy is a dual citizen of Israel and Germany. On the 9th of March the 30th, 2007, an unidentified man was seen and photographed with Dana Rishpy, an Israeli national of the Mezzanine Hotel in Tulum in Mexico. Dana Rishpy has not been seen since that night. The FBI and Israeli National Police are seeking the public's assistance with identifying the man. He is described as a white male with a thin build. He appears to be either North American or possibly Australian. He is not a fugitive from the law. This information could help in locating Dana and or provide new information about her disappearance. If anyone has any information concerning this person, then please contact your local FBI office or the American Embassy. Dana was born into a very wealthy family that was based primarily in Haifa in Israel. Her parents, Dania and Drora Rishpy, had 4 children, of which Dana was the young one by 10 years. I do apologise beforehand if I say anyone's names wrong or any places that's wrong. I do apologise. Okay, so they had 4 children, of which Dana was the young one by 10 years. The Rishpys were highly multicultural, perhaps owing to their other's past as a traveller agent or her father's previous job as a pilot with the airline El Al and as the personal pilot of Ugandan dictator Idi Amin. Her parents were seasoned travellers themselves and spent early 2007 hiking and backpacking in South America. Dana was very familiar with travel and was very confident in being abroad, having visited several countries over her lifetime, some as a solo traveller. She was very comfortable being in the spotlight, striking since childhood for her eyes and her lovely hair. As a child, she modelled for a popular Israeli brand of fruit with her image in many stores across the country. She was very athletic and did outdoor activities. She was also interested in animation and the arts, and her favourite movie was Blue Lagoon, and her favourite cartoon was the K-Bears. Events leading up to the disappearance. Before making any decisions about the future, Dana decided to vacate in Cancun, a region her parents once visited decades earlier. She originally intended to meet up with her parents in Patagonia in March, but tickets were difficult to get that late and she headed to Mexico instead. The trip would last at least a couple of weeks, and she spent her first few days like all adventurous young adults, touring the sites, making new friends amongst the tourists, and hanging out of an evening based on several sources. Dana arrived in Cancun sometime around March the 26th to the 27th, ready to explore from the start. After settling in, she emailed her parents on March the 28th, describing her friendly people she had met and expressed her plan to spend the next few weeks touring the local sites. Starting with a boating trip to Isla Mujeres, or Isla Mujeres, I can't spell it well, is Isla Mujeres, Mujeres. I think that's how you say it. I apologize. Dana's diary is the last confirmed insight to her movements in Mexico. She wrote on March 30th she had made it back from the island and was visiting Tulum, a city about an hour outside Cancun. She had met some tourists on the bus from Isla Mujeres, who warned her about the area was very busy and the housing may be hard to find. The American, a man called, quote, Matty or Matai, end quote, who lived in Tulum, offered to share his cabana with her while showing her around. Dana was excited to have met someone familiar to the area and looked forward to exploring the area. Tulum offers many cultural experiences, including Mayan ruins, swimming in the cenotes, an underground river system, and the ocean activities, which is snorkeling. This in addition to the weekly party at the Mezzanine Hotel near where Matai was apparently staying. Dana did note concerns about Matai's intentions towards her, writing that she was not interested in a romantic or sexual relationship with him, although she did accept his offer to share in a cabana. It is clear that the same night as her journal entry, Friday the March 30th, Dana headed out to a party. But how the evening played out is not well established. So the Jerusalem Post says, quote, Dana left her backpack with Matai and headed out to the club nearby. According to the report, there is a photo and video evidence of Dana at the club that evening, drinking and listening to a drum performance. In either case, she was confirmed to have been seen around 1:30 a.m. on March the 31st, getting ready to leave the party in the company of a young male of Caucasian North American appearance who possibly had an apartment in that area. Rumours what happened that night was Dana ran away with Matai to Honduras. Witnesses said they saw them. The hotel manager in Belize claimed that they hosted Dana and a male assumed to be Matai before they crossed into Honduras, later proven unreasonable given that Matai was clearly visible in Tulum. And then, according to the witness, in the 3 weeks after her disappearance, and then known to be in the United States afterwards, but this was the state judicial police concluded that they initially dismissed the initial investigation. So there's another rumor that Dana was somehow given ecstasy at the Mezzanine Hotel or the club where they were initially partying. So she began to overdose and went into convulsions and was taken to by an unknown person to Playa Esperanza, another hotel a short walk away. But in March 2008, Mexican police arrested and questioned a Hungarian tourist, Zsolt Fejer, I think that's how you spell his name, or say his name, on suspicion of drug trafficking and possible connections with Dana's disappearance. According to your Free Press, Fejer allegedly told private investigators in 2007 he sold ecstasy pills to Matai Wilson the night of the party. Furthermore, Fejer was supposedly seen in Dana's company that night and told the investigators he picked up Matei and approximately 8 others. In 2011, Mexican police reportedly arrested Jorge Ruiz, a caretaker for Playa Esperanza. A witness arrested by police on rape charge alleged Ruiz had picked Dana, Matei, and 8 others up in a van and taken them to a separate place known as the Malex. His witness claimed Dana was given illicit drugs and overdosed. Ruiz was questioned for a few days and then released, still protesting his innocence in the matter that he claimed that the police was setting him up. The witnesses in Ruiz's case, a homeless person supposedly then led them to the remains suspected to be Dana's, buried in Tulum. I do apologize. Media suggested it might have been the work of organ traffickers, and the body was sent for DNA testing. Nothing appears to have come from any of this, though, as Dana is still listed as missing and no sentencing was given her disappearance of possible murder. Then this is where I started to tune in and to try and get a feel of what happened to Dana, who was involved in her disappearance, where is she now, and what is the possible outcome of it all. So I asked the first question then, so what happened to Dana Rishpy? And the card of reverse 7 of swords come out. So there was illegal activities going on and blackmailing and getting caught in the act and lies and being two-faced and to be trusted and not to be trusted, and not having any conscience. Reverse King of Wands, there's an older male that's very immature and can be forceful and controlling, very arrogant, hot-tempered, argumentative, that is very risky. Two of Swords, there's a lot of stress and being closed off and being caught in the middle. There is to be being torn between two people and being blind to the truth. 10 of Cups, there was a lot of happiness to do with a gathering and being very content and having a lot of fun and being around with a lot of people and some teamwork. Reverse Death, there was a catastrophic happening, a near-death experience or a death or a sacrifice. Reverse Emperor, there's a male that is not accepting any responsibility, that is very unpleasant, that does illegal activities, that is very irresponsible, very aggressive, highly confident. 9 of Wands, there's being on guard and being wounded, being very defensive and fighting their corner in a conflict with challenges and standing alone. Reverse Knight of Wands, there's someone that is very reckless and was very impulsive, very out of control, loud and hot-headed, aggressive, violent and jealous, who wanted to run away. Ace of Wands, there was a new beginning and a lot of stirrings and starting over. Who was involved in Dana Rishpy's disappearance was the next question I asked, and the card Knight of Pentacles come out. There was a guy that may have been a business person who may have been an outdoor worker or a farmer that loved animals and nature. There was a very hard worker, very territorial, strong, stubborn and friendly. 8 of Wands, there was romance. There's also an obsessor that was on a holiday. Both had a lot in common. They were very well matched and it was overseas. 10 of Swords, there was violence and abuse, being attacked, and a death could have been stabbed from the back. There was a lot of attention seeking and also betrayal. High Priestess, there may have been a female that was involved or someone who had a strong feminine energy that was very spiritual, that had peace, and there was a motive that was involved and some type of secrecy. Justice, there's someone who was to take very much full responsibility for what they had done, and there was a lot of investigations involved, and the law. 5 of Wands, so there was a lot of chaos and fighting, there was a lot of disturbance and there was a struggle. 4 Swords, there was a lot of stress, there was a death or someone dying, and then ended in some calmness. Star card, there's calm after the storm. 2 of Cups, there was emotional decisions to be made and coming together and peace and contentment. Reverse 8 of Cups, there was lack of growth and staying put and pretending to be happy and also trying to run away. There's also a distorted body being shown. Reverse 3 of Wands, there's a lot of regrets and delays and cancellations and the feeling of being homesick. Where is Dana Rishpy's body? And we have the card Reverse Page of Cups. There is an obsessor that is very disappointed. There was very much a seducer that does abuse and feeling a bit sexually active. Reverse Page of Swords, there's being caught off guard by a manipulator that was looking for trouble, that may be tongue-tied or has some learning difficulty. There was to be a stabbing that happened to Dana. Dana is near some woods or greenery and a bit of a creek or a waterfall. Ace of Pentacles, there's someone who may have had their own business or is getting their own business up and running. There is financial security and there is investments. Ace of Swords, there's to be a breakthrough and justice. Also some communication is coming through. Reverse Chariot, there's to be some issues around a car or travel. 6 of Wands, there's to be victory and triumph and good news as to where Dana is. King of Swords, there is a male that has some type of authority about him that seeks the truth. He's very stern and he seeks justice. What is the final outcome to be for Dana Rishpy's case? Reverse 6 of Swords. There's to be some delays and standing their ground and some trouble to be stirred. Reverse 10 of Pentacles. There's to be some family feud and a loss. Magician. There's to be some mental clarity and actions to be taken. Empress. There is to be either a mother figure or a female that is to get peace, harmony and generosity and prosperity. 7 of Pentacles. There is to be results and a trust fund to come into full. Reverse Page of Pentacles. There's some procrastination involved and there's someone with learning difficulties and frustration and foolishness and impatience that's going to be coming in the fore in the case. Ace of Cups. There's to be happy news and joy. Reverse 6 of Pentacles. There's to be someone that is involved in cons and abuse of power that is going to get fired and there is a lot of discrimination that's involved. Reverse 3 of Pentacles. There is to be some lack of interests and no motivation and no efforts. So that is the tarot cards that have come out for the Dana Rishpy reading that I have done for the case to see what happens, so on and so forth. And there is some research I have also done beforehand on the case. If there's anything I have missed, please comment in the comment box below. And let's try and see if we can get justice for Dana's family and for Dana. Let's hope they find something to bring justice, to bring her home at least, to get some clarity. So that is the end of the case of the Dana Rishpy case. I hope you're all doing okay. Love and light for myself, to everyone out there, and I'll see you again.